Do you think mushrooms can save the world?
I haven't any idea. I haven't given it a moment's thought.
Do you think mushrooms can save the world?
Not offhand, no. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I can't think of a reason how they would.
No.
Possibly.
Like, what type of mushrooms are we talking about?
I actually don't know anything about mushrooms.
When I first heard that mushrooms could be used to clean up toxic waste, I could hardly believe it. But as it turns out, it could be the answer that this community has been searching for a very long time. When my daughter was born in 2000, we moved to the Mendocino coast. I wanted to raise her in an environment that was close to the earth. Soon after we had settled in Fort Bragg, my attention was drawn to a piece of waterfront property. I drove past this place every day. I wondered, why is that chain link fence there and why the locked gates? Why wasn't this land being used for anything? Fort Bragg, as I discovered, was a coastal town without a coast. As soon as I started asking questions, I found out that there were secrets buried on the land. A very dark, untold history connected with this property. I discovered that Georgia Pacific Corporation had just shut down the lumber mill that had operated on that property for over 100 years.
The early 1850s, the first loggers came to this area and immediately started to disrupt the environment. The disturbance that has occurred on this land has been horrific. The old village site of Kadu, which has been here for many generations, was immediately destroyed.
It seems peculiar how many laws there are regulating every breath we take as private individuals, but then a huge corporation can mutilate the land to this degree, and no one blinks an eye. This is like inconceivable to leave the soil this way. This is like human skin cut with a knife or a chainsaw, and then you just walk away. This is like a waste zone. The resources are extracted and we go back to the stock market or wherever they went.
We knew that a mill site had closed. We knew that it was going to have to be cleaned up. Then we got a map of the site and we began to mark, oh, the cat house this, oh, the transformer got dumped in the pond there. Oh, fill over there, and we don't know what's at the bottom of that. Oh, a 40-gallon tank of what? Buried over where?
You get yellow and black and smelly stuff coming out of the smokestacks. The cars were all full of this horrible soot, and black, yellow, orange, ugly colors and ugly smells. I don't know what they were burning then.
The powerhouse burnt lots of different kinds of materials and generated tremendous piles of fly ash. Truckloads of it every day was removed from the mill site in the mid-80s. It was used as soil amendment. It was given to people for their gardens. It was used as fill when people needed fill. Chemical concoctions that have bromine or chlorine in them, when burnt, will create dioxins. In the toxicity scale that California EPA uses to rate the toxicity of various substances, the only thing that's higher on the scale than dioxins is radioactivity.
So the toxic material, the scary word in our community is fly ash. It's the stuff that went up the chimney and accumulated in incinerators. It was dumped in piles in huge quantities until the 400 acres around the mill didn't leave enough room, and they trucked it up a couple of miles into the local watershed, and they just dumped it there. And it's gradually working its way into the stream beds and going out the coast. And I have clients who have cancer, and they remember, yeah, indeed, When I started my garden, from which I've been eating for 15 years, I started it on fly ash.
Right underneath the grass that we're standing on, there's a layer of about 5 or 6 inches of black soot. It's not topsoil. It doesn't look like topsoil. If you get it on your hands, it sure doesn't feel like topsoil, because I never heard of any topsoil that required 3 hand washings before the sticky is finally removed from one's hands. So all this chemically soaked ash is not even a quarter of an inch away from the bare feet of the children who play on this field.
As if it isn't bad enough, there's 400 acres smack dab next to a town that's highly contaminated with, we don't even know what yet, but we just know there's a lot of stuff there. The idea that there is the possibility of very dangerous, toxic chemicals and substances in the fly ash from this mill site raises a whole other level of challenge to the situation.
Everything is interconnected. The fish, the forest, the community, the animals, the spotted owl, it's all connected. And we need each other. And when one thing is off balance, everything gets off balance. It's a domino thing.
When Paul Stamets came and spoke to our community in January 2008, the room was electric. Everyone was amazed by Paul's presentation about the mycological kingdom and the idea that mushrooms could be used to bioremediate soils.
Over repeated applications, we may actually be able to remove the dioxins. These very horrendously contaminating molecules that can change us on the level of our endocrine system and can affect us in parts per trillion can be disassembled to be components that are no longer hazardous. The idea that the mill site could be transformed and could be a place, a mecca that people come from all over the world to see, this is how you take something that has been done and needs to be healed and make it into a place that is life-sustaining and life-enhancing and educational. There is no better ally than the mushrooms to restore these healthy environments.
The media and communities around the world are watching to see if this is going to be a solution to a major challenge that all of us are facing this day and age. If we can find an answer to cleaning up the soil on the Mendocino coast using mushrooms, we can become a major model for other communities facing similar issues.
The Creator gave us this world to enjoy. That's what it says in our traditions. We weren't meant to destroy it. We were meant to live with it. Amawea, 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 Bokawea, Bokawea, Iawea, Iawea, Amawea, Bokawea, Amawea, Iyawea, Amawea, Amawea. Amawea, Bokawea, Iyawea, Iyawea. Oh, oh.